So when you think about buying or selling a home, you probably picture the usual stuff, right? An agent, a house, a mountain of paperwork. But what you don't see is what's happening behind the scenes, where the entire real estate industry is being quietly reshaped by some really key players. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain on the people and the organizations making the big decisions that are absolutely going to affect your next move.
And it's a great question to ask, because beyond your local agent, there's this massive infrastructure that dictates, well, everything. How homes are listed, how they're viewed, and how they're sold. And these aren't just background players, not at all. They're the architects of the entire market.
And that network, right now, is in the middle of a huge shift. We're seeing new leaders step up, organizations are consolidating their power, and technology is just fundamentally changing how everything gets done. Okay, let's get into it and see what's really going on.
All right, first things first, let's get our terms straight. We're talking about multiple listing services. You'll hear them called MLSs, and realtor associations. The easiest way to think about them is as the central nervous system for all of real estate. They provide the data, they set the rules, and they've got the political muscle that defines the whole industry. So let's start with the people, the ones at the very top. There's this fascinating changing of the guard happening that shows two completely different ideas about who's best suited to lead the industry from here on out.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at the contrast. On one side, you've got IRES MLS over in Colorado. They promoted from within, picking Julie Dahl, who's been with them for over 20 years. Then, on the other side, you have Northwest MLS. They looked outside the organization and hired Chelsea Goyer, a total pro from the world of PropTech, that's property technology, who comes from disruptor companies like Redfin and Opendoor. It's the classic insider experience versus outside innovation.
And this quote from the IRES CEO, Jeff Bosch, it really says it all, doesn't it? They are betting big that someone who knows their organization inside and out, its past and its present, is the absolute best person to guide them into the future. Now, to really get how big of a deal the change at Northwest MLS is, just think about this number, 45. That's how many years the outgoing COO, Monica Beck, was there. Replacing that kind of legacy with a tech-focused outsider, wow. That is a bold statement about where they think the entire industry is headed.
But these leadership changes, they're not just about what happens inside the company. It's also about power, how they project it externally. These organizations are seriously doubling down on their ability to influence the laws and regulations that affect the housing market for every single one of us.
Just take a look at Illinois Realtors. They've got over 50,000 members. That's a massive group. And a number like that, it's not just for show. It translates directly into real political clout. And believe me, they are putting it to use.
So, how are they using all that power? Well, here's their playbook. They are laser-focused on pushing for policies that, they believe will improve the market. That means trying to get more homes built, making it easier for people to actually buy them, and fighting back against taxes and rules they see as getting in the way.
And don't get it twisted, this is a very calculated move. Their CEO, Jeff Baker, straight up calls it a strategic investment. They're hiring government affairs pros and building an advocacy machine that's designed to be the most powerful voice on housing in the entire state.
Okay, so we've seen how they're changing leaders and flexing political muscle. But the third piece of this puzzle is the technology holding it all together, the platforms. And the trend here is crystal clear. Get bigger and get smarter.
Let's take MetroList MLS. They're already the biggest player in Northern California. Now, you might think being number one is enough, but in today's world, if you're standing still, you're actually falling behind.
So yep, they've expanded again. This time, they brought the Madera County Association of Realtors into their network. This is a perfect example of that consolidation trend, creating these larger, more powerful, and way more efficient networks.
So what does all this mean for the actual agents out there? Well, they get access to much better tech, more complete data that covers the whole region, and even some AI-powered tools. The goal here is to help them work more efficiently and serve their clients better, which, in theory, should mean a smoother, more data-driven experience for you. And this latest move brings their total reach up to 15 counties. That kind of scale is a game changer. It lets them offer tools and resources that smaller, independent associations just can't compete with. And it's making the gap between the industry's haves and have-nots even wider.
So, we've talked about the new leaders, the power plays in politics, and these gigantic platforms. But why should any of this matter to you? What's the bottom line? Let's connect the dots.
When you put all these pieces together, what you're really seeing is a fundamental evolution of the industry. The leadership is getting way more strategic, whether it's by valuing decades of experience or by bringing in tech disruptors.
Their political influence is getting stronger and more organized, and the networks and tech behind it all are becoming more powerful and more consolidated than ever.
So here's the crucial point. That old school, kind of fragmented, hyper-local real estate world of the past, it's transforming. The people working on your next transaction are going to be backed by more data, better tools, and much more powerful organizations than ever before. This isn't just a small shift. It's a change in the very foundation of how you will buy or sell a home.
And that really just leaves us with one final critical question. As all these new leaders, powerful lobbies, and mega platforms reshape the entire landscape, who really comes out on top in the end? Is it the agent with all the new tools? Is it the industry itself consolidating all its power? Or is it you, the homebuyer, the seller, who has to navigate this brand new world? It's something to think about.